Welcome to the Athletes Unlimited Softball League, presented by Mizuno. Our final night in Sulphur, Louisiana, finishing up a 3-game set as the Volts trying to get charged up for this one and salvage anything they can from this series. Bandits loving life right now, looking for the first sweep in AUSL history. Alongside the former two-time All-American Amanda Scarborough, I'm Chucky Kemp. Big question about how these teams would gel early in the season. Bandits look like they've been playing together for years.
Yeah, they really do. They're doing everything right. The way that their pitchers are going strong in the circle, and the way that their defense is making plays behind them, and the way that their offense is clicking. In this series, 2 games against the Volts, they're hitting .344 compared to the Volts team is hitting .224. So their offense is stepping up, and the Bandits are finding different ways to win, relying on their defense in that 9th inning Game 1 win with a Delaney Wisz walk-off after that Morgan Zerkle double play. And then in Game 2, it was all offense early that they were able to hold on to, and Sidney McKinney had a great night on defense at third base, and then a 3-for-3 night with a home run, 2 runs scored, and 3 RBIs from the 9 holes. So 1 through 9, the Bandits offense is getting it done, and that's why when you look at their ranks in a lot of different offensive categories, they're #1 in the league.
McKinney hitting .714 in this series from that 9 spot. That is a tough spot if you're an opposing pitcher right now. Volts lineup is dangerous, but they've struggled with runners in scoring position. They felt like they've left some opportunities out there. More changes for them. Sis Bates, the biggest one tonight, as she jumps up into the 2-hole after a 2-hit night last night. She'll be right behind Amanda Lorenz, and then Danica Coffey in the 9 spot. She's been excellent as well. The LSU product back in the state of Louisiana. A 2025 debut in the Zerkle for the Bandits. Sarah Willis in her 2nd professional season out of Ontario, Canada. She's also played in Mexico and Australia this year. Posted a .337 ERA last summer in 35 innings pitched.
Yeah, I know she's excited to get the ball today and to swing it for herself as well. You're seeing her in the box hitting for herself.
Willis versus Lorenz to start things off. That pitch misses down and away. Amanda Lorenz, the 2nd pick in the AUSL draft for the Volts, the first position player off the board. She would like to set the tone for this Volts team tonight. Strike 1 from Willis. Well, when you saw the Volts last night and in this series, what has stood out most to you?
It seemed like they have a plan early in the game, and then that plan has gone away whenever the Bandits have changed pitchers. The relief pitchers for the Bandits have done very well in this series, and the Volts haven't adjusted well to them. They've been prepared for the starter, and then the Bandits have just done such a good job of scoring early. It has just put so much pressure on the Volts to play from behind, especially in yesterday's game. 1 big inning in Game 1 and the 3rd inning where they put up a 4 spot, but that's really the most that they've done offensively.
Amanda Lorenz in the leadoff spot, hitting .353 on the season, 6 hits. She scored 3 times. Just 1 extra base hit for Lorenz. One of the most dangerous hitters on the planet, though. Crowd into it here in Sulphur. We've had great crowds all weekend as Lorenz watches ball 3 outside. Just got a foul tip on that. The 2nd series of the AUSL season will be wrapped up tomorrow in Chattanooga. We've had a doubleheader there today between the Blaze and the Talons. Those were fantastic games. The Blaze are racing on an 11-run deficit, and they end up losing after tying it at 12-12. Ended up losing 14-12. After a rain delay, as Lorenz fights off another pitch. I don't think I'd ever seen anything like that game earlier.
I know. It's one that we're going to be talking about for a while. Down 12-1, tie at 12-12, and the Talons had the last lap in that one, being able to get a big win. That loss would have hurt. They would have lost that one.
Important games, even though it's the beginning of the AUSL season, just a 24-game schedule for every team. have to start strong if you want to be in Tuscaloosa for the championship series as Lorenz walks to start off the game.
It's a great debut by Amanda Lorenz, a 9-pitch at bat where she saw a little bit of everything from Sarah Willis. And this is what she threw last year in the 2024 season. This is her first inning that she's pitched this season. A really nice mix. I mean, look how evenly spread that is between her screwball, curveball going east to west and mixing in that changeup that she will drop down, believe it or not, to the high 40s. So taking 20 miles an hour off of her hardest stuff.
Sis Bates got to see plenty of pitches, 9 from Willis to Lorenz in the first at bat, and Bates can't get the bunt down. Saw Sis with an impossible bunt earlier in this series that was really right at her, and she kind of jumped backwards to get it down. 7th round pick in the inaugural draft just a few months ago. Kat Osterman, the general manager for the Volts. Kelly Kretschmann, the head coach, as Sis fouls that one toward her head coach in the third base box.
Yeah, you can tell that she kind of got the monkey off of her back in yesterday's game, too. One of the highlights of the Volts was that Sis went 2 for 3, had an RBI, and she had not had a hit this season prior to that. So if we're up to the 2 spot, hit behind Amanda Lorenz because of her barrel control and the ability to put the ball on the ground.
Trying to prove something to her coach, Kelly Kretschmann, in a lineup that has a lot of pop. She can do it offensively and defensively. Sis has played for Team USA on numerous occasions. Silver last summer at the WBSC Softball World Cup. Played in Italy. 0-2. Popped up on the infield. Lorenz has to put the brakes on, and she's out. Another double play. The Bandits have now turned 6 on the season.
I know. I had that little note written down as well because I was just stunned. We didn't see him here this weekend, but another one turn for the Bandits. Sis Bates put that ball in the air off of the changeup from Sarah Willis, and Bandits able to turn it as Amanda Lorenz was going on the pitch, so then she had to put the brakes on and could not get back to 1.
It's been that type of series. I mean, for both of these teams, you see the pop up there at the perfect times, Lorenz going, and that's just kind of been what's happened to the Volts at times. It's just been unlucky. 0-1, Jennings up the middle and down for a base hit. Her 3rd hit of the series. League leader with 7 RBIs entering today.
Want to get her up as much as possible with the way that she's swinging it. That's not even a poorly located pitch at all, but just a good swing by Terry Jennings, a little bit off the bat, but getting that drop ball that's an off-speed pitch that Sarah Willis will throw at 63 miles an hour.
And Mackenzie Clark has plenty of pop. She's displayed that in game 1 of this series.
43 miles an hour with the changeup. And Sarah Willis can ramp it up to 70. She will throw that pitch often, these hitters.
There it is, Clark on it, right to Koffel. Solid start for Sarah Willis. We've got a legend walking our way right now. Jenny Finch joins us in the booth on the other side. We've had a fantastic weekend in Sulphur, Louisiana. The crowds have been great. The legends have been on hand. Kim Ng, Kim Mulkey, Jenny Finch in the building. Gave an awesome speech about the state of softball before this event. We got a great first pitch from the legend Kim Mulkey as well. And now we're joined by MLB softball ambassador, AUSL advisor Jenny Finch in the booth. We're here because of you. The Jenny Finch World Series going on. How special is it to see these crowds and the response to the AUSL?
It's incredible. I couldn't be more thrilled to bring them into Sulphur, Louisiana, and just to see the excitement, this entire community, Southwest Louisiana, Southeast Texas, coming out for the best of the best and being able to provide this platform and environment for these athletes.
Yeah, unbelievable start to the AUSL season. Jenny, Natasha, Jess Mendoza, and Kat Osterman, the AUSL advisors as we start the bottom of the 2nd inning. Rachel Garcia in the circle for the Volts with Morgan Zerkle leading off, what's been your favorite part of these opening couple weekends in the AUSL?
Oh my gosh, I think just we have been so ready for this, and I love how it just carried and continued from the Women's College World Series, and just the momentum just continues to move forward, and we have all hands on deck, and everyone is under the one Athletes Unlimited umbrella, and what an incredible team we have.
Morgan Zerkle last night, great defensive play going up against Rachel Garcia, who's had an awesome start to the season, Amanda. The Volts need this one tonight, big time.
Yeah, they're going to rely on her to do what she does best. That's just move the ball around. I've been so impressed, Jenny, with the way that Rachel has been able to change speeds and use her drop ball and her changeup really well. And I mean, she has such a good mix that it's hard for these hitters to be able to go up with a plan against her because she can instantly change it.
Zerkle into left field, long run for Lorenz. That's a foul ball. It's interesting to see the pros like adapt as their careers go on, and sometimes with Athletes Unlimited in the past, they haven't had the coaches. How much did you start to tweak your game after you got out of Arizona and with the Olympic team?
You know, and I think that was one of our main goals building Athletes Unlimited Softball League, was to create the environment for these athletes to take their talent level to the next level. And they come from incredible programs in college, and they've had access to so much and great coaching. And so it's like, okay, how do we continue that on? And how are they still being poured into to be able to elevate their game to the next level? And I think that's what excites me the most, is the general managers, the head coaches, the assistant coaches. They have so much at their fingertips.
Off the glove of Garcia, Warren tried to make the barehanded play. As Zerkle's on to start the inning.
You were former teammates with Stacy Newman. What was she like to play with and be a teammate with?
She's just amazing. She's a gamer, she's intense, but she's fun too. And you know, we were on the road for 10 years together, and you know, playing against each other forever, UCLA, Arizona. So then to finally team up, you're like, finally, I'm so sick and tired of seeing you in the batter's box. Now you're behind the dish for me. This is what I've been waiting for. But she cares so much about the sport, the athletes, her passion. It just exudes way beyond even the playing field for her teams and the success that she's had at San Diego. And just we couldn't be more thrilled to be able to have her in the league and have these athletes be able to be coached by her.
Do you know how many times you struck her out?
No. No, she got me a couple. I do remember the time she got me, though. Okay. Yes.
Those are the ones I think you remember a little bit more, right?
For sure.
Skylar Wallace, the great shortstop out of Florida at the plate, 500 average on the series. She's also been hit by 3 pitches at the plate.
Jenny, you were a little bit emotional in your pregame speech before the game 2 days ago. Why was that? I'm curious what this means to you and why maybe it meant even more to you to see this game here.
Yeah, I think just in general, I mean, being at opening day in Chicago and just seeing how, I think, professional it is. And we played professional softball, but this is truly professional softball. And I think that's what is so great about it. And to know that these athletes have just a huge support system in place, even how they transform this field into a stadium. It's just, everything's first class, and these athletes now are getting to experience that. She got in there.
Morgan Zerkle has stolen base in scoring position for Wallace.
That's the thing about this Bandits team, is that they have this speed all throughout their lineup, and Morgan Zerkle just barely gets her hand in there as this Bates immediately goes to the umpire, shows him that she has the ball, because it looked like Morgan Zerkle got stuck, wasn't going to get there. She goes down with the tag, but Zerkle gets in there into scoring position.
3-2 from Garcia. Ground ball left side, Sis to a knee. Wallace beats it out.
Speed on speed on speed.
Who was the toughest hitter? If somebody comes to mind, I know you played a lot of great ones, but Skylar Wallace is such a problem because she's so fast, has so much power. Who's somebody that's one of the toughest outs you used to face?
I think those athletes that are triple threat hitters, they're just irritating because you know, you can't be too far in because they can hit the ball by you. So defense is kind of middle ground, but they're so fast. So there's just this extra pressure, like we saw, added, put on the defense when you have that kind of speed.
Aaron Koffel swinging a hot bat to start the season, and it is the Bandits again striking first. They're 3-0 when scoring first this season.
Well, this is a big deal to do this against Rachel Garcia early in this game, and the Bandits have done this so well throughout this series, is score first. That's a drop ball that Aaron Koffel just stays on, and it drives it through the infield. And the Bandits have outscored the Volts 8-0 in the first and second innings in this series, and now add on another run to that. They've just done such a good job of hopping on pitchers early in the game.
And now Delaney Wisz already has a couple RBIs on the series. That runs in and gets the knob of the bat for strike one. There it is, 9-0 in those first two frames. 3-0 on the year when scoring first.
Jenny, would you have ever thought when you were these girls' age who was at the field that you would still be involved in softball at the age that you are now?
No, not at all. And that's just why, you know, everyone's like, oh, thank you for what you did. I'm like, I'm just so blessed to be able to still be here and still be involved.
Yeah.
And Natasha Watley and I are both MLB ambassadors and on the Advisors Council for Athletes Unlimited. And so to be able to like still have the relationship with my teammate, my sister, and then still be invested in being able to be a part of the game still at this level is so just what an honor it is. And we're finally here, and I think that's just now is the time. I know we keep saying that, and that's kind of the theme, but it truly is. Now is the time for pro softball.
1-2 to Wisz. Couple Bruins facing off. Fouled back again. You've been involved in the MLB side as a softball ambassador, now as an advisor for the AUSL, and what a cast this is. Jess Mendoza, Kat Osterman, and Natasha Watley, some of your former teammates there as well. When you saw the news, the MLB, and you probably got it earlier than we did, but I mean, how big was that? Because you have been involved on that side for so long.
A long time coming. We dreamt of it, we hoped, we tried to do everything we could, and then to actually hear the commissioner speak and say it, it's like, now is the time. Everyone's on board. MLB is stepped up to the plate to back this league. It's gonna go. It's not gonna not succeed. It's gonna happen, and I think it's a testament to see how many have come out in just the first 2 weekends. Sellout after sellout. Stadiums are being filled and packed with just fans wanting to see the game of fast pitch softball.
Well, and it's cool to see the four of you guys who have known each other forever. And I'm sure there was some texts and conversations going before you guys were named advisors. Like, what was that like to just have conversations like that about something that was possible, about the potential, and like be texting people that you've known forever and think so highly of to become an advisor and see it for what it is now?
Poor Kim Aang, because I feel like we would go off on our tangents, you know, just our inside jokes and all that, and she's just sitting back like, hey, we got some work to do here, you know, but just so fun to be able to be in it and to celebrate this moment and to be a part of it and to try to help in every way that we possibly can to make it a success.
Because how far back do you and Tosh go?
12U. Yeah. 12U.
Yeah,
we go way back.
Oh
yes,
gosh.
yes. That's my girl.
That had to be the best 12U team in history with you two on it. That's unbelievable.
Well, we played together in 12U, and then after that, we didn't play together again until the national team. So it was good to be back with her. Like I said, even with newbie, that's, I think, the best part about being on the national team, Olympic team, is you finally have these people that you don't want to face now with you, going to war battle with you.
And youth softball parents and players alike celebrated when you two broke up, and after the 12U, they were glad to see that end for a while.
And now you are a youth parent.
Yes, actually, yeah. I'm coming from my daughter's 12U game, and we have a game at 7:15 tonight. We are in the World Series here in Sulphur, and so we are in the losers bracket now, so pressure's on.
Uh-oh, Coach.
Yes, we got to try to make it till Sunday, make the season last.
1-1 count, still nobody out, and bases loaded for Bubba Nichols Camarena.
And I think, speaking of that camaraderie that we have as teammates, that's what I think is really, really great about AUSL is finally now we're going to see the storylines, and these athletes can actually compete and learn each other and play with each other for the season. And being at opening day, Montana Fouts was like, I just wish we could have been together for like 2 weeks earlier.
Yeah.
You know, so they had a 2-week kind of spring training prep to get ready, and then they're in their season. But, you know, they crave and want even more time together before they're on the field on national TV playing the game.
There's Bubba coming through. Another run in for the Bandits. 2-0 here in the first, and still no out.
I hope all the little kids at home right now are watching and admiring the short swings. I know the long ball's fun and everybody wants to hit a home run, but that's how the Bandits have scored and attacked early, is just shortening up, making contact, finding the barrel of the bat and putting it on the ball. And just what a great job the Bandits have done is just making contact, hitting the ball on the ground, putting the pressure on the Volt defense.
Well, you've talked so much about the coaches too, and Game 1 of this series, Rachel Garcia strikes out Bubba Nichols 3 times, her former teammate. You see the adjustments we've been talking about, and Bubba wins the first battle tonight. Base is still loaded. So many great connections in the league. You had everybody over earlier this week for crawfish boil, is that right?
Like, why not host 120 teams and let's go. Boil 350 pounds of crawfish. And then I was nervous because I was like, if you don't know how to eat crawfish, you're going to leave hungry. And I did not. You cannot leave anywhere in Louisiana hungry. And so I was like, uh-oh, but they had no problem crushing the crawfish.
My goodness, the Bandit bats just won't stop right now. It's Devin Netz with an RBI single.
So did you have to teach some people how to do it? Were you in there giving instructions on how to eat some crawfish?
I was more serving drinks because it was pretty hot. And I go, you can't eat crawfish in AC. Like we were in our barn and serving up drinks. But my husband was there. We had other, friends and family there to help them learn. And I even Brussels sprouts, carrots, thinking like they need more fillers. Potatoes, corn, of course. But they absolutely, I think they were all sitting there. I'm thinking, okay, hour and a half, they're going to be in and out. Bandits had just flown in, hot off the plane. They first said they weren't going to come. Then I think they saw a picture and they're like, we're coming. And they ended up showing up. And an hour and a half later, they're all still sitting in front of their platters, going at it. It was great.
Jenny Finch, the chef, in the booth with us right now. We're going to pitching change. Bases loaded. Nobody out in the bottom of the first. And the Bandits already up 3-0. Peyton Gottschall, the second-year pro out of Tennessee, All-SEC first team last year, helping the Lady Vols to back-to-back SEC titles. Actually saw her in relief last night, too. 4 2/3, 6 hits, just 1 run, and 3 strikeouts for Gottschall, who are trying to put a Band-Aid on this first inning with nobody out and the bases loaded.
Yeah, we had a feeling that she might be the one to come in relief. Did see her last night, and she threw well. I do not think that the Volts were expecting to go to the bullpen this early. And Chucky, we've been talking about the Bandits offense for the past couple of days with their approaches, their at-bats, their speed. I mean, they're just doing everything right now.
Bella Dayton, the 7 spot, leading off against Gottschall, and that runs outside. Take us into the mind of a reliever. Obviously, you started a lot of games. When you come into a situation like this, how much different is that, and what's your approach?
I think it's really different. It's hard, and it's nice to be able to have some reps, I think. But ultimately, it's trying to throw strikes and use your defense and trying to get your defense in on offense as soon as you can. But kind of trying to stay in that mindset of one pitch at a time, because obviously you're out there and the pressure's on usually when a reliever comes in. So especially in this situation, bases loaded, just trying to go right at her, get ahead, and spin the ball and try and get some outs.
Does your daughter pitch?
She does, yes.
What's that like to be a pitcher mom, a former pitcher, softball coach? What's that like?
It's not easy. It's not easy. You could probably, and she would probably say the same about being a daughter of a pitcher. But yeah, I wasn't there last week because opening weekend, and I get this line from my husband at the box score, and it was like, Paisley needs to pitch more. She had 4 innings, got the win, 4 strikeouts, so I guess I don't let her pitch enough, but I know how much she practices, so I think, yeah, we're working. She's young, so we'll see, but she loves the game, plays first base, right field, and
are your nerves
a little pitching.
Are your nerves higher watching her than they were playing? Are you more
for
amped
sure.
up? Yeah.
Way easier on the field with the ball in your hand versus watching your little baby out there. No telling what's going through their mind.
Sarah Willis trying to help her own cause here.
Sarah Willis getting the start today and getting to hit in the lineup, too. How much did you like being a pitcher that could swing it?
She can swing.
And swing it indeed, yes.
Brings another run in.
I think and I did it all growing up, so I felt like, and on the national team, I didn't get to hit like I did in the pro league and in college and play first base and such, and you can't complain when Crystal Bustos is your DH, right? Yeah. I want Crystal Bustos in the lineup too, but I think being able to have that break of mindset from defense to offense and being able to help your team out with the bat as well, it's an adjustment, and I think it does add more pressure when you are a two-way player and only get to pitch.
You hear that a lot. I hear that from a lot of the college players, even talking to Nyjah Kennedy at the World Series, just about how freeing it is to be able to have that separation from being the one with the ball in your hand to then going up and hitting, and just freeing is probably the best word. And it's interesting how much pressure pitchers put on themselves, and I felt it. I'm sure that you did at times too, and of course it's going to be the last out, so maybe we'll talk about it coming back.
Jenny, you got to go coach.
Oh, it's time already.
Yes. Oh, time flies.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Pressure's a privilege,
yes,
right?
That's right.
Yes. Thank y'all so much.
Dealt with it so well at the Olympic stage and every stage. We appreciate her joining us. Earlier today in Chattanooga, the Talons led 12-1. Blaze rallied back 12-12. Sydney Romero says, no problem, I got it. Two-run home run that ended up being the winner for the Talons and avoided a major meltdown in that first game.
Her first home run of the season, too. Couldn't have come at a better time. Now we get to watch her sister hit, Sierra Romero. But that game was absolutely wild in the sense that they were down 12-1, the Blaze were, and they tied it up, and then Sydney Romero with that two-run home run to win it in the seventh. That was a great game, with a long game too, because of the rain delay and long at-bats. That game was a wild one.
So Sierra leading off against Sarah Willis, who allowed 2 base runners in the first inning, but had a leadoff walk eliminated because of a pop-out double play. Romero, Garcia, Warren due up here in the second. Romero fouls that into the netting. Jenny Finch in the booth there, and how about the team that is going off in front of her, the Bandits, who she spent time with back in the NPF days when they were the Chicago Bandits, and she was a star pitcher in the Zerkle for them.
The Rosemont Stadium is off of Jenny Finch Way, named after her, so that was just so fun to get a chance to talk to her. I mean, she's still all over this sport. Her fingerprint is all over it. And even when you see Little League players and young players say, who's your favorite player? You see her name still probably the most in those those profiles that are filled out.
Well, my favorite part of the Celebrity All-Star slow pitch game is every once in a while she'll ramp one up, and that's why I'm there. That's why I'm tuning in to watch Jenny Finch blow one by a former athlete.
Well, remember when she pitched against Albert Pujols? Yeah. And I think Jenny had said that Pujols' wife had played softball, and she was the one that wanted Jenny to pitch against him, and whew, those rise balls kind of blew him away.
One-two count from Willis to Sierra Romero, 0 for 2 with a walk in the series. That was a big miss for them last night, too. Sierra, longtime veteran, one that's likely to develop into a leader of this team, and took a knock to the head in right field by her own player, Mackenzie Clark, coming over, got it with an elbow, and so Sierra exited game 1, missed game 2. Good to see her back out there today and doing what she does into right center field. A leadoff single here in the second. Both leadoff hitters have gotten aboard for the Volts.
Well, get the leadoff on for the Volts has not been an issue, because coming into this game, leadoffs were 7 for 14, but they've also left 13 on base in 2 games. So again, she mentioned second time in this game, back-to-back innings, leadoff reaches, and that's a great swing by Sierra Romero. Great contact there. Had to have felt good off of the barrel, especially after missing yesterday's game, not getting a chance to play.
Garcia, after a tough start, didn't record an out. Coming through at the plate with a base hit, her first of this series. She was 0 for 6 prior.
I mean, you got to believe, too, that the Volts were watching the Blaze play earlier today and trying to kill a little bit of time until their game. And so being down by 4 runs in this one, they're probably thinking back like, hey, guys, the Blaze scored 11 runs to tie up the game. We're just down by 4, using that other team as inspiration to try to get back into this game and wake up this offense. Coming into this game, hitting just .224 as a team compared to the Bandits, .344 average. But this is an offense that can really put up runs very quickly with the hitters that they have.
Allie Newland, LSU product, pinch running at second base for Romero. Jesse Warren in the 7 spot. Former ACC Player of the Year at Florida State couple times. Defensive Player of the Year in the ACC, as well as Freshman of the Year. She had every award you could win in the ACC. She did it.
Well, you know, it's been so crushing for the Volts as well. It's just the double plays that the Bandits have turned throughout this series. So they've had runners on, but another double play opportunity for the Bandits, which they've been so good at.
The stretch of the order: Romero, Garcia, Warren, and Iakopo, who's only had a couple at bats. But they've combined to go 0 for 15 prior to those 2 hits by Romero and Garcia. 1-1. Back up the middle. Here's a chance over to third. Now to first. And got her! Another double play by the Bandits.
See if they're going to challenge it. That was a close play at 1, but this is exactly what we're talking about. And the bases loaded opportunities and the runners at first and second just lead to these double plays that the Bandits have continued to turn. 7 double plays on the year, 2 in this game. Those are momentum crushers for the Volts when they're trying to figure it out on offense.
When we say 7 double plays on the year, this is game 6 of the season. Not to mention, you just don't see it as much on the softball side of the diamond. They just gelled. I mean, we've been able to see this team for every game they play. We were in Rosemont last weekend, but just as a whole, this Bandits team just looks like they know each other, like they like each other. Skylar Wallace said that in the press conference. They like each other on and off the field.
Just playing well together. And I mean, the season is just so short. So throughout any season, you're going to have ups and downs. But in this shortened AUSL season, 24 games, you don't have a lot of time to have those long lulls where you're losing streaks. As the Volts are on a 3-game losing streak right now, they have to quickly be able to turn things around.
Slow roller to Wallace, picked up at first by Wisz. 2 singles to start the inning. Bandits taking care of business. Another double play. Welcome back to Athletes Unlimited Softball League, presented by Mizuno. In Louisiana, you're going to get some great food, right? Jenny Finch treating the players this weekend, having them all gather at her house for a crawfish boil. Have you ever had crawfish?
Yes. It's just a lot of work for a very little amount of food. So It's not that I don't like it, it's a lot of work. You know?
Need security to get you out of here tonight after that kind of talk.
I know.
And I have not had it, so
Oh,
I'm in no better shape than you.
Ask. Okay. But would you try it? That's a no.
I would try it. I would try it. Top of the order for the Bandits. Zerkle swinging big into right center field. And that clears the fence. Morgan Zerkle, a round tripper. Already had one this year that stayed in the park. And now her 2nd home run of the season.
It just really doesn't seem like there's any answers for this Bandits offense. I mean, continuing to score early in the game, multiple different innings. It's a good pitch to hit. Morgan Zerkle looking for something on the inner half, getting her barrel out in front to that pitch and just crushing it over the right center field wall. That is her 2nd home run, but first out of the park home run of the season, as she had an inside the Parker last weekend.
5-0 Bandits. They have been elite early in games. They scored in the first inning of 5 of their 6 games this year. They've been extra base hit machines this year.
That's the thing, is like, when they're making contact with the ball, they're either putting pressure on this defense to make a quick play as they hustle quick down the line, get an infield single, or they're barreling pitches up for extra bases. I mean, already multiple triples, 2 by Aaron Koffel in the park, home run. Out of the park, home runs, they're just doing everything.
"13 of their 17 runs in the series have come in the first 3 innings. Wallace fouls that away. Let's check in with Savannah down on the field with Morgan Zerkle.
Okay, Zerkle, when I talked to Sid after her home run, she said she and Coach Lateef have been working on the inside pitch. I hear that's what you've been working on too.
Right, all of us lefties are working on getting there, but hitting the outside at the same time. And it's nice to finally have a little bit of success because I didn't look so great against her yesterday.
Okay, but what is it about those changes that is allowing y'all to take that tight pitch yard instead of maybe grounding out, rolling it over?
I think her velo's a little bit down, so that helps some. But also just the more we've seen her, we saw her yesterday, and I definitely took some plated pitches. So I think just seeing her again, like, I knew I could be better if I swung the bat.
All right, thanks, Zerk. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that these Bandits hitters are looking like, just so prepared. They look like they have a plan, and they are executing the plan almost every single time that they go up to the plate.
Wow.
Looking for a pitch, looking for a looking for a speed, looking for a side of the plate, and they're selling out on that early into count. That's something that Stacy Newbent-Denise talked to us about last weekend in Rosemont, was their approach, and they're just executing it almost flawlessly right now.
3-2 from Gottschall. Calls time. Jenny Fitch talked about how professional the league is, all the tools at the disposal. We've mentioned over this weekend the travel parties with each of these 4 teams, 30-plus people, from players to coaches to support staff, trainers, whatever it might be. All the bases are covered. Just the staff in general from the league that travels with this moving operation here in year 1 of the AUSL that's going to visit 10 different cities. But the analytics part's there. They have all the tools they need to be able to dive in and really do some in-depth prep. And these coaches and GMs and players have utilized that in a big way these first couple weeks. Wallace going. Throw is high and into center field. Skyler stays put at second base.
Well, Mackenzie Clark has such a good arm in center field that Skyler Wallace took a couple of steps in order to think about it. Do I want to go? Who has the ball? Okay. Now, Mackenzie Clark has a great arm, good backup there of that throw that got past second
base. 0-1 inside, and that got Koffel. First and second, nobody out. Dangerous territory for the Volts right now. They've lost 3 straight games, and it's just been a total flip from what they did so well early against the Blaze. They scored 15 runs in the first 2 games. They were excellent with runners in scoring position. That has been what they've really struggled with in this series. Started the season 11 for 24 with runners in scoring position in the first 2 games. 2 for 21 since that point entering today.
They've had the opportunities. They've gotten runners on base, but those double plays are killing them. They're not having productive outs, and the execution piece, just being able to come through, advancing runners. And
into left field, Delaney Wisz. That's bobbled by Lorenz. Wallace going to take advantage. 6-zip Bandits.
the Bandits are just making such hard contact too. Just everything they seem to be on time with. crush pitch. As Sis Bates actually was moving up the middle of the field, Delaney Wisz able to pull that. Wouldn't have mattered where Sis was positioned, but it just tells you what she was looking for on that pitch. Drive something more toward the right side, up the middle. And Lorenz bobbles that. I think Skylar Wallace likely would have scored anyway with her speed, but the bobble made it a clear run.
Bubba Nichols-Camarena, RBI single in the first, into left field, just foul. Best offense in the league keeps getting better right now. Nichols, shallow right field. It's Coffey out there today. Makes the catch. The throw to third is... It beat the runner, but bounced up. Warren couldn't handle it at third, so now 2 in scoring position.
And Danica Coffey made a good throw and actually had a chance to get Erin Koffel, but Jesse Warren couldn't come away with the catch. Either it hit Koffel or just got mixed up in her as she dove. But again, Bandits, aggressive base running, being able to take an extra 60 feet, something that the Bandits worked hard on coming into this season, was just putting a big emphasis on base running, understanding that they have the speed throughout their order to be able to take extra bases whenever possible.
Ground ball left side, Bates smothers it. Nice play over the first, 2 outs.
It just seems like, too, I don't know if you feel this way, but the game is just happening so quickly. It's like I'm writing something down in my scorebook and then another ball is put in play. The Bandits are being so aggressive early in the count that there's just constant action for these defenders and for the pitchers who just aren't changing speeds a lot with Gottschall in the circle.
Popped up first pitch, right on cue. Dayton to left field. Lorenz calls him off and makes the catch. 3 straight outs after the first 4 in the inning reached. Couple more runs. Bandits 6, Volts nothing. Six nothing here in Sulphur. Bandits over the Volts. Fans here probably pulling a little bit for the Volts because of Sam Landry, who played some of her college ball at Louisiana not far from here, grew up west of here in East Texas, about an hour and a half away.
Well, and I've seen several young girls, like that little girl with the sign with her glove and her glasses have clear frames, and inspired just like Sam Landry to be okay wearing their glasses with their uniform out on the softball field. So many young athletes look up to her.
We might, next Sam Landry start, we got to get the glasses out in the booth. Get ready.
Maybe she has a couple of extra pairs she can let us borrow.
Be even better if they were prescription. It'd be real funny up here. Top of the third, Volts needs something. Look at that pitch from Wisz. She even smiled at it. 43 miles per hour.
She's going to be happy with the start that she's had so far, trying to anchor her way through the second time in the order, who is on deck with Amanda Lorenz. Seeing how deep that she can go into this game. Her first start of the season, and has had a little bit of traffic on base, but a double play in each of the innings has helped her.
Right side foul. And Amanda, there's going to be no secrets between these two teams come mid-July. Or if you were to make it to the championship series, you're going to know these pitchers. There's going to be a ton of film on them and data. But for the Bandits right now, the way they've played this weekend, just to not give a ton of reps off of their pitchers at the very least, I would have to think is going to make a difference down the road.
Again, we haven't even seen Taylor McQuillan in this series. And the Bandits right now have already won the series and are up 6-0. And their lefty specialist, who is a true veteran, has great stuff in relief. They like to use her, the lefty of Taylor McQuillan. They've not even had to use her in this series yet.
Lexi Kilfoyle, who was the first overall pick in the AUSL allocation draft, went 4 innings in game 1, but got pulled. She gave up 4 earned runs, and for Lexi, that's an off night because she's been so elite in the league. Emily Kennedy had a good start yesterday, rookie out of Texas A&M, and then Odyssey Alexander in game 1 was excellent in relief. Coffee fouls another one long into the bleachers.
Well, and things have gone so much to plan for the Bandits that they've been able to stick with their probable starting pitching rotation that they put out a couple of days ago to start Lexi Kilfoyle game 1, Emily Kennedy game 2, and then Sarah Willis projected starter for game 3. That's when you know that everything is going right at our pitching rotation, that sticks with it.
Jammed coffee, 1 out. Check in with Savannah Collins.
Well, Chucky, you mentioned it. Sam Landry is less than 2 hours away from her hometown in Texas, and there are so many fans who came to see her specifically play in this series. And last night, after the Volts game ended, she stayed until every single player had an autograph signed by her and a picture with her. She was out here until 11 p.m. last night. She posted on her Instagram story about how she knows that coming back home for her is a blessing, and that if you would have told her 5 years ago that she'd be playing pro softball and someone that these young kids can look up to, she wouldn't have believed you. She knew the importance of making sure every kid left knowing that they could get an autograph and a picture with Sam Landry. So much bigger than her, and she never really forgets that when she's in those moments.
Well, and Savannah, Sam Landry was really good at Louisiana, but she took it up a notch whenever she went to OU in her senior year and got to pitch in the Women's College World Series and got this exposure playing in the SEC, all these televised games on national networks. And everybody got to see how amazing that she is and what a competitor that she is, and so sweet to be able to sign all those autographs, and so many young girls look up to. And again, we were talking about the young girls with glasses in the stands feeling, she said that she gets messages from those young players saying that they feel like they can wear glasses out on the field because of her and they're not scared or nervous to anymore.
Sam Landry, what up, my twin?
She has a lot of these twins. We saw them at the Women's College World Series. We saw another one that was here yesterday who wasn't even this girl. So there's just multiple Sam Landry doppelgangers that are soon going to be playing college softball. Look up to her.
We're going to be showing flashbacks at the Women's College World Series in 10 years.
They need to keep these photos because these are the types of things that we as broadcasters ask for when they get to college and they're playing the World Series or regular season game. Like, these are the things that we want to see. So keep your photos with your role models.
Lorenz right side bounces up to Koffel. 2 outs.
Another thing that's helped the Bandits defense is a lot of these balls off the bat are just softer contact. So makes it a little bit easier for the double play turned or for an easy out. And that's what you're seeing from the Bandits. Just so many pitches squared up and a lot of softer contact from the Volts as of late.
Sis Bates trying to make something of the inning. There's a great article on Sis Bates on MLB.com recently. I was really talking a lot about her defense and specifically her love for her glove. And it said, you know, Sis won 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards at Washington. She's won a Defensive Player of the Year with Athletes Unlimited in past iterations before the traditional league was launched. But she said the glove never goes in her bag, in her equipment bag. She doesn't want to mess it up, and she oils it every day.
Well, it not only does it go and it's in her bag, it has its own carrying case that she puts it into just to really make sure that she takes care of it.
Ground ball right back to Willis. Fielding her position well. Fired it a little low. Said, sorry, Delaney. 1-2-3 inning for Sarah Willis. Nothing. Bottom of the third. Bandits coming back to the plate. 7 hits in the first 2 frames. Got 4 runs in the first, 2 in the second. Another good crowd here in Sulphur, Louisiana. We were talking to Jenny Finch earlier. The weather has not cooperated for the Jenny Finch World Series, so certainly probably a lot of games being played tonight. She is coaching her daughter's team. Coach Jenny Finch. Can you imagine as a 12-year-old? I mean, even if they don't know, like, look it up and see who your coach is. It's big time.
It's so cool. He's just so beloved by all softball fans, you know, and baseball fans too, because of her being an MLB ambassador and the way that she just continues to give back to the sport. Just always around, and we want her around.
8-9-1 for the Bandits. Sarah Willis helped her cause last time with a sac fly RBI. Flies out to right field.
And so a couple of home runs that have been hit by the Bandits, similar players, with Sydney McKinney in the 9-hole and Morgan Zerkle as the leadoff hitter. They're so similar with their speed and power. Been working on this inside pitch with Michael Lateef, their hitting coach. Look at the similar pitch that they made contact with that sent it out of here off of Peyton Gottschall. Got a curveball trying to make its way inside. But between McKinney and Zerkle, they have this secret, mysterious power, but they can also lay down a bunt. And then at the same breath, Jesse Warren, the third baseman, has to play them halfway up the line, which he just took a couple of steps back. But they have to, the defenders have to respect the speed of players like Zerkle and McKinney because of how fast they are down the line in their short game, but still the pop that they have and the ability to hit the long ball. And that was another curveball by Gottschall that went a little bit more inside. The one that Zerkle and McKinney both hit was about a ball over the plate. They took advantage of it, have been working on hitting that pitch out in front. Similar swings for similar players.
They did spend the year together at Marshall. Morgan Zerkle, the head coach there. Sydney McKinney was one of her assistant coaches, so very familiar with each other. Going 9-1 here. Left side bounced up to Bates. 2 outs.
And they're the types of players that I feel like make softball just so unique and fun to watch. When people watch the Women's College World Series, when they're going to watch AUSL games now on MLB Network and have a chance to be able to see them, people fall in love with the speed of the game. And a lot of that has to do with players like Morgan Zerkle and how fast they are. You put a ball on the ground, you put a bunt down, a defense has to play so quick and so perfect to be able to get you out. And then she can still drive a ball in the gap or over the fence like that. A double from Morgan Zerkle, who is now 3 for 3 and a triple away from the cycle.
Having an excellent start to the season.
So we were just talking about how she can crush an inside pitch. And so what does Gottschall do? She goes to the outside pitch, a screwball that Morgan Zerkle stays on. And so I guess it's better than having her hit it out of the ballpark when she pulls the pitch or drives it up the middle of the field, opposite field gap for a double for Zerkle.
We're on MLB Network tonight. I know you grew up an Astros fan. Who was your favorite speedster to watch growing up? We'll find out on the other side as Wallace pops up. There you go. 6-0 though. The Bandits over the Volts. Jordan Roberts mic'd up for us tonight. We will have her when we come back. Well, Father's Day tomorrow. Jordan Roberts with her dad, Jeff. Some great pictures of them over the years. Celebrate Father's Day tomorrow. These two teams will not be playing. Bandits and Volts wrapping up their 3-game series tonight in Sulphur. Jordan Roberts, longtime pro out of Florida, had a perfect fielding percentage during her time there from 2017 to 2020. She's mic'd up behind the plate. Jordan, I know you're not playing on Father's Day, but just got to show pictures of you and your dad. How special is that?
It's amazing. He's the best. I wish he was here.
The ultimate
I like that.
multitask to talk to us and call pitches and work the pitch comm at the same time with our pitcher, Sarah Willis. Jordan, what do you love about calling pitches so much? You're known as a great pitch caller. I should say, how did you become a great pitch caller?
Honestly, I would say I've learned a lot. I learned a lot at Florida. But once I got here, playing in the pros, good job. Good job. Working with a lot of pitchers has honestly helped me since being a pro. I've learned a lot. I think it was very intimidating coming in, having to switch pitchers every single week, but it honestly made me get really uncomfortable in the best way, and so I learned a lot. it's become my favorite thing. I think I love it more than hitting. Yes.
How is Sarah Willis from an approach? We know every pitcher is a little bit different with how they want to be approached. How is the relationship with Sarah Willis in game?
It's amazing. She is honestly one of the most fun pitchers I've ever caught for. Whether she's in the game or not, she's athletic. She loves to challenge the batter. She goes with the flow. And obviously she has an incredible changeup, so that makes it even more fun. We can mix a lot. Yes, good.
Who was a catcher, Jordan, that you looked up to when you were growing up? In baseball, softball, either or? Like, who was a catcher that you looked up to?
Gwen Svekis. She's the reason that I am playing in this league. I got to play with Gwen in travel ball. And whenever my season got cut short, my senior year, she's the one that called me to come play. And yes, good. I just love her style behind the plate. I love that she really focuses on the relationship that she has with each pitcher. So I've kind of tried to take that on throughout my career, and it has seemed to help a lot.
Tiare Jennings already retired in the inning. Now Mackenzie Clark at the plate for the Volts. 0-2 count. Talking to Jordan Roberts, mic'd up behind the plate for the Bandits. There you go, Jordan.
Good job. It's falling out of my ear.
Jordan, the past couple of games, there's just been a lot of softer contact off of the Volts' bat. What do you attribute that to? A couple of pop-ups here, but just not a lot of barreled-up pitches.
I mean, I'm really trying to throw my pitcher's best stuff, but I also know they're going to be aggressive. So I'm really doing my best to just mix things up. I don't want to seem too predictable. And I think that's the fun part, honestly, is letting the defense work and letting your pitchers understand that they don't have to be perfect. They can throw their best stuff and not have to worry about, we're not trying to strike anyone out.
Base hit for Sierra Romero with 2 away.
Hey, we're good.
First hit since the second inning for the Volts. Jordan, we talk so much about the Bandits and how well it seems like you guys have gelled from your perspective. What is it that's clicked so early? Because it's been so fast since training camp and into the season, and here you are looking like you played 4 or 5 years together.
Honestly, I attribute that to our coaches. They made the first week really hard on us. Yes. We hit the ground running, and I think that was the best way to go about it, so that we felt prepared to play each team. And I think the best team in this league is going to be the one that can make the fastest adjustments. Yes. Good. And that's what we're doing. We're staying steady. We're making adjustments. We're responding to the game, and just working together. This is the most fun I've ever had on a team, so I am really excited. I've really enjoyed the first 2 weeks. Got it. I got you. Good.
1-2 count to Rachel Garcia, who singled in the second. We've heard that from a number of Bandits. I think Delaney Wisz said the same thing the other night. It's the most fun she's had on a team, which is just so incredible because you all come from such great college programs.
Come get.
There it is. Jordan Roberts putting together a masterclass behind the plate. We appreciate you, Jordan.
Thanks, Jordan.
6-0 Bandits. She's just helping Willis spin a gem right now.
Love it.
Bottom of the fourth, Bandits leading 6-0, trying to get back on the board after not scoring in the third. Pitching has been great from Sarah Willis and Jordan Roberts behind the dish calling the game. A lot more softball coming your way tomorrow. Talons Blaze wrap up their 3-game set in Chattanooga, Tennessee, 2 Eastern on MLB.com. You can catch that one. I'm really excited for Tuesday, Wednesday. We haven't seen the Blaze yet. We'll get all 4 teams in Wichita back-to-back nights for doubleheaders.
Come on out, get your ticket. You get to watch all 4 teams in one place for the first time. We haven't had that yet. We've all been separated, but the band is going to get all together in Wichita, and we love that facility and the support that Wichita has there. I can't wait to go back.
Some pressure early on some of these teams. The Bandits are going to be the one that probably feels the best, and we talked about it too. Regardless of result today, they're going to feel really good. Back-to-back series wins to open the season, so at the worst, they would leave Sulphur 4-2.
I just feel like they're playing at such a high right now. I mean, this is now 4 games in a row that they've scored at least 6 runs. I mean, that is major run support for your pitchers, the defense, who are just playing really free on D.
Koffel high to shallow left field. Lorenz has it. 1 out. A lot of youth teams still in the jerseys too. I don't know, maybe some of them even have games later tonight. What's the most games you ever played in a day in a youth softball tournament?
Probably like 6.
6?
Oh yeah.
I was thinking 3 or 4. You played 6 in a game?
No,
or in a day?
They weren't like full 7-inning games. They probably would have been timed like hour 20, hour and a half. But okay, in the losers bracket, you gotta buckle up. Yeah, rain plus losers bracket is disaster for a travel ball situation.
That is hit right to Sierra Romero, who's back home at second base after playing some right field early in the season. So Wisz retired.
That's the thing about the Volts is that Kelsey Stewart-Hunter injured. Sierra Romero missed a game yesterday because she got hit in the head by Mackenzie Clark in a collision that happened out in the outfield. They've just been shuffling around their defense a little bit, trying to find the right mix on defense, the right mix on offense, who's hitting. A lot of different options, and even having Tiari Jennings playing first base to get her bat in the lineup and having Sis play shortstop. Danica Coffey was playing second base, now out in right field.
Off the handle, Bates retreats. 1-2-3 inning for Peyton Gottschall, the best for the Volts tonight. Needs some offense.
All right, Grayson, it looks like you are our winner. Everyone give some noise.
6-0. Volts held to just 4 hits so far through 4 innings of work. Sarah Willis's night is done, as is her catcher, Jordan Roberts. What a fantastic duo. New pitcher in. It is Taylor McQuillan, the lefty you mentioned. We hadn't seen her yet. Out of Mission Viejo, California, was a first-team All-American back in 2019 as a senior at Arizona, playing for the legend Mike Candrea. Her first appearance of the weekend, her 3rd of the season, and in 4 innings of work so far has given up just 2 earned.
Now we saw her in 2 of the 3 games opening weekend, and now not until game 3 here in the second series. Lefty specialist, though, really can spin it, change speeds very well.
Jesse Warren to lead things off, 7-8-9.
Sarah Willis just did such a good job of working from ahead. 9 of her 11 batters that she faced through first pitch strikes just made the most of her first start of the season. And with how the Bandits have pitched in relief with Odyssey Alexander in game 1 and then Devin Netz in game 2, they haven't let the Volts see a lot of the rest of their pitching staff. Like first look in game 3 at Sarah Willis, first look in game 3 at Taylor McQuillan, setting themselves up for a sweep when you hide pitchers like that for that long.
Strike 3, McQuillan. Nice start to get Warren on strikes. Sarah Willis now joining us. Fantastic performance in 4 innings in your season debut. I mean, how did you feel in the circle?
I think I just felt great today. You know, I had the team behind my back getting those runs early in the start of the game. So I was really just cruising, hitting my spots, just getting people to miss hit the ball, just doing what I do best. And I was just having a fun time out there in my first start.
M Edenfield at the plate, pinch hitting for M Iakopo.
Okay, Sarah, what's in your hand and why do you have it in your hands?
So this is one of our cowbells. As you know, we are the Bandits, and so one of our things that we like to tell our fans when we are trying to get them to get loud is more cowbell. And so, you know, you just give them a little ding, 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 and, you know, this is just our handy dandy cowbell in the dugout.
Whose idea was that?
They did a giveaway the first game in Rosemont, and then one of our athletic trainers bought like a pack of 4, so we've been dangling every good thing that happens, just trying to get the crowd up and then get some good energy.
2-1 count to Edenfield. Sarah, we've talked to so many pitchers over the years about Jordan Roberts' ability to communicate with catchers. What is it from your perspective that makes her so good at calling a game?
I think she just does a great job of knowing every pitcher and how their pitches move. I think she did a really good job of just calling my pitches and just mixing all of them, whether it was my drop, my change, or my hard stuff. I think we were able to keep them off balance really well and just keep them mishitting the ball, and it was super exciting to have Joe talking while she was calling pitches. I think that was just a masterpiece in itself. She's really cool for that.
I could never. That was multitasking at its finest.
Yeah.
3-2 pitch, popped up and fouled.
What was the pitch that worked the best for you tonight, Sarah? What did you like the most tonight?
I think both of my off-speeds, my off-speed drop and my change, just keeping people off balance, not letting them get to 1 too easily. I think they were kind of sitting on my heart a little bit, so then me and Joe talked about just throwing more change the next inning, and then vice versa when they started sitting on my change, then going to my drop. But yeah, just working those 2 pitches and keeping them off balance was really good tonight.
Sarah, congrats on a great performance. We appreciate the time.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Those strikeouts for Taylor McQuillan, both on her rise ball. The first one expanded the zone a little bit more to Jessie Warren, and then to Edenfield, able to throw that pitch more through the zone. But McQuillan, in her first appearance of the weekend, coming out strong.
McQuillan, the second pick by the Bandits, 8th overall. Catches the outside corner to the lefty, Danica Coffey. It's the 9 spot for the Volts, who have been held scoreless by the combo now of Willis and McQuillan. Coffey 3 hits in the first 2 games of this series, but 0 for 1 with a pop out to Wallace at short.
Sure, too. Taylor McQuillan probably feeling pretty fresh after not pitching the first couple of games. And so much experience in relief. I mean, she's a great starter, but you can rely on her to come in relief and be ready to go from pitch number 1, like Jenny Finch was talking about earlier this game. It's just a different mindset that you go in with as a pitcher, and a different feel versus starting a game. So many of these pitchers, you know, when you grow up and in college, you're the starting pitcher. That's what you're used to. And especially when you're growing up, you're used to going the full distance, 6-7 innings, throwing complete games, getting the start. But relying more on pitching staffs now at the college level and pro level.
Right side, Koffel handles it. McQuillan comes in. 2 Ks, a ground out. Rapid fire from the lefty, Taylor McQuillan, and the Bandits keep on rolling. We've grown accustomed to these Louisiana sunsets here at McMurry Park in Sulphur, Louisiana. Bandits are loving life here, 6-0, trying to go for the first ever series sweep in the AUSL's very young history.
I think we have another good sunset coming. The sun's still up, but with the clouds that have been all around today and that are behind the field right now, there's another good sunset brewing. Just give it about 20 or 30 minutes. See some colors.
Devin Netz leading things off. Peyton Gottschall's had a couple pretty good relief performances in this series. And Netz has had a great series as well, both at the plate and in the circle. Got her first career win yesterday in relief. Left side, that gets through the 5-6 hole. Another base hit for Devin Netz, her second of the night, fourth of the series. Devin Netz, there's her and her mom Lisa, her dad Dan, with Father's Day tomorrow, living it up. She's been a winner for a long time, it would appear. From Sierra Madre, California, she was the 10th pick in the AUSL college draft. And you knew there'd be some attention on that Arizona program. Likely would have went regardless because she's the Big 12 Player of the Year. She can play on both sides of the ball, but the general manager for the Bandits pays extra close attention to that Arizona program. Jenny Dalton-Hill, who was a former National Player of the Year there. How about that? We've had two Wildcats in the building who both have their names on the wall as the Volts give the Bandits a little bit of their own medicine with the double play.
So many double plays in this series. Now line drive, one to freeze. Devin Netz took a couple of steps thinking that was going to sneak through. It's a double play for Sis to throw it over to Juan, and a couple of quick outs for Gottschall.
Pinch hitter Sarah Willis was in this spot earlier. Kelly Torres will get a crack at it. Torres didn't have an at-bat entering the weekend. Takes the first pitch for a strike. Torres played her college ball at Duke, spent this year as a graduate assistant at Clemson under head coach John Rittman. It's another player. We've seen a couple of those Duke and Clemson connections where players have been involved with both of those programs, and it's unique because they both have been born in the last 8 years. Young programs who have had a ton of success.
Well, and then, of course, to get to be involved in the first year of the AUSL, they're players that are used to being a part of up-and-coming programs and get to build a foundation and see what that's like in the beginning stages of something, and now they get to be another part of something new again with the AUSL.
2 balls, 2 strikes for Gottschall. Off the end of the bat to Warren. This could do it. And it does. I'll say Jennings kept her foot on the base. Might have a challenge here. Stacy Newman-Denise walking out toward the field. Said, you know what? Never mind. We're good. That'll do it for the 5th inning. A leadoff single, but a double play to eliminate it. Basically 1-2-3 for Gottschall. Told you at the top of the show, the Bandits have done everything well this season at some point. The offense, though, continues to be a huge story. They've hit .360 in this series with the Volts, who entered the weekend with the best pitching staff.
9 extra base hits, have hit those 4 home runs, and that offensive graphic, I should say, doesn't even mention the speed, because it's hard to put that into a number. They've had a few stolen bases, of course, but just their ability to run bases, take extra bases, and It's been impressive what they've been able to do offensively, put those 6 runs on the board in every game.
6 outs to work with for the Volts if they want to get anything out of this Louisiana trip. Up next, double headers on Tuesday and Wednesday. All 4 teams will be in Wichita. Goodness. It's been a long day. It's hot out here, Amanda.
The Louisiana accent is bleeding onto you, I think.
There are 3 days, and it's already there. Top of the order, if it's going to happen for the Volts, needs to happen quickly, and with Amanda Lorenz at the plate, it's a good chance to get it started.
It's crazy to see how the standings are already starting to shape up a little bit. There's going to be a big game between the Talons and the Blaze tomorrow, as our last game of the series is going to be today, so that game will be a standalone game tomorrow that I'll be locked into. All of them just matter for this overall record, just to build and build and build toward the end of the season, trying to be the first AUSL champions that will be crowned. And you know, they're all competitive. They want to be the first.
Swing and a miss. McQuillan has seen 4 batters. She struck out 3 of them.
She just looks on point. She is spotting her rise ball and her curveball so well. This is a curveball, tough lefty-on-lefty matchup. And I think that what makes McQuillan even tougher to go up against as a left-handed hitter is, to me, she kind of hides the ball in her release, and it just cuts across the plate. She's so tough against lefties. And then she changes speeds like that.
When you're talking about McQuillan hiding the ball, it's like a quirk like that for a pitcher. Is that natural, or is that something that you maybe try and add into your game to help yourself out?
Just something that happens for her naturally.
Long run for Nets. Let's check in with Savannah with more on Taylor McQuillan.
Well, you both mentioned the standings, how every game matters, and that particularly plays into how you use your pitching staff. Coach Newman Denise told me that Taylor McQuillan was scheduled to go last night, but she pulled her aside in the 5th inning, and Taylor said, hey, let Devin go. Coach Newman Denise talks about how you really can't be greedy. These pitchers know that it's a long season. They're all going to have their opportunities, so she knew coming into today it would be Willis and McQuillan who had their chance to come in and make an impact for this team. They've been able to save these arms and cruise, because it matters not just for this series, but the one coming up after this and getting to the break at the end of June.
Yeah, we'll have a 2-week break. A week from Monday, that break will actually begin. We'll be in Norman, Oklahoma next weekend, playing at Love's Field. Cannot wait for that one. A few Sooners going to get to go back there. That series runs through Monday, and then from that point on, there'll be a 2-week break from about the 23rd of June to the 7th of July. And then I would tell you the schedule really picks up from the 7th all the way to the championship series in Tuscaloosa at the end of July. Tiare Jennings, 1 for 2 tonight, had a single in the 1st inning. 2 of the first 3 batters tonight reached for the Volts. A walk for Lorenz, a single for Jennings. Since then, just 3 base runners. And all 3 of those base runners have come on singles. Sure what you tell your team if you're Stacey Newman-Denise. What are we going to work on? We are playing so well.
It's almost like you want them to fail a little bit early because you don't want to peak too soon. I mean, it just seems like they're rolling on all cylinders right now. You really want to be peaking during the Champ Series in Tuscaloosa that we mentioned at the end of July. Like, that's when you want to be peaking, but you love to see what your team is capable of, and the way that Taylor McQuillan has just entered this game in relief tonight. 4 strikeouts, 2 3-up, 3-down innings for Taylor McQuillan, being able to work her rise ball, her curveball, and her screwball now. She's ready to enter this game. Bandits continuing to roll.
The Athletes Unlimited Softball League is sponsored by Mizuno. Sulphur has been good to us. Our final night here, wrapping up the Volts Bandits series, and the Bandits trying to get to 5-1 on the season and put themselves 2 games ahead of the Talons, who are 3-2 after taking 2 from the Blaze today. These are important early games. One thing we haven't talked about tonight, some players are missing from these teams, returning from Japan. For a team like the Bandits, they're only missing one, Mia Davidson, but still a big power bat for them. But you look at the Volts, Deja Mulipola, Erica Piancastelli, and Sam Shao. If you've been a college softball fan over the last 5 to 8 years, you know those names.
Well, and the Bandits are taking advantage of the fact that they do have their complete team to start the season, minus Mia Davidson, so almost everybody. And these are important series in the sense that maybe the Talons are a little bit down, maybe the Volts are a little bit down right now, but you as a team have to capitalize on that, and they are winning the first series and going for the sweep here. And they get the Volts while they're down.
Up the middle, a base hit off Gottschall, who had been fantastic, retired the last 7 hitters on just 20 pitches. There's a base hit for Sydney McKinney. They're trying to go to Rhodes Stadium in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, July 26th through the 28th, a best-of-3 series between the top 2 teams in the league for a chance to be history makers, the first ever AUSL champions.
Yeah, she's only going to go up from here with the 4 teams that we have this summer and looking to expand next summer. It's only going to go up from here. And think about, Chucky, where we've started with this season with sellouts and momentum and fans becoming, softball fans in general, becoming fans of the AUSL and fans of the Volts and of the Bandits and of these teams, and just starting to form those connections and follow these teams and their favorite players. And it will all end with the first champions in Tuscaloosa at the end of July and continue to build beyond that next summer.
2 more teams next summer to bring the league total to 6. Home bases will be announced as well at some point in the next year. No timeline on that officially, but these teams this season, it's just a touring entity. We'll see 10 cities during the AUSL regular season and championship series. Popped up on the infield. Romero. 1 out.
Which is great because it gives different areas a chance to come out and watch these teams. As you mentioned, we'll be in Wichita coming up in a couple of days, and then Norman, Oklahoma, getting to play at the wonderful, beautiful Love's Field that you and I have called a game at before, and I can't wait to see it with this AUSL branding, have a different look at Love's Field, the best stadiums in the entire country, in the entire world, I should say, at OU in Norman, Oklahoma.
First pitch to Skylar Wallace outside for a ball. What stood out to you? We got the chance to go call the Oklahoma-Tennessee Game 2 there this year, and both of our first times at Love's Field. What was the first thing that struck your eye when you saw it?
I just like how it is a full 360 experience with the stands behind the outfield, just all down the lines, the chair backs. I mean, it just feels like a professional softball field, except it's a college field, and it can hold, what, 3,000 or 4,000 people. And OU, with their softball following, they sell it out every game because people want to be there in person. And of course, you and I got the underground tour of all the facilities, of the team room and the tunnel that they walk out of and the locker room.
Oh man, Jennings, a Sooner right on cue. Little distraction drill over there too by McKinney. What a play.
She's laughing, I'm laughing, because this ball was crushed at her, and it was a bit of an Olay. Look at where she actually catches this. It's almost behind her. She moves her body out of the way, it goes right into her glove, and Skylar Wallace gets robbed by the Sooner, turned into a double play. We've seen many of those tonight. Volts, something good going their way finally.
Bandits continuing to keep this Volts offense at bay, that they got another chance coming around. It was a quick half inning there because of Tiare Jennings, that fantastic play she made at first base. Now, that is not her normal position. In fact, she's only played first base once before. It was with Team USA last summer in the World Games in Italy. In fact, she doesn't even have a first base mitt yet. She had to put the order in for one. It's on its way, and she's making those kind of plays with her regular infield gloves. So just doing what it takes right now for a Bandits or a Volts lineup that's kind of constantly changing and trying to fill these defensive positions with their team.
Need that next day delivery. Yeah, the same day delivery.
I wonder if she likes to break in her gloves, or maybe Sis Bates can help her. We know that she likes to get a glove in tip-top shape. Although I don't think that Sis is broken in a first baseman's mitt, so maybe somebody else can help Tiare.
How's your glove doing right now?
Oh, it's definitely a pancake situation going on right now. It's not good.
In a storage room somewhere?
Multiple ones that are pancakes in a storage room right now. Sis Bates would be so disappointed in my glove. It's definitely smushed, as she likes to call it. She doesn't want to smush her glove. S-M-U-S-H. My glove is definitely smushed right now. Multiple smushes.
1-2 count from McQuillan to Mackenzie Clark. McQuillan lights out, has struck out 4 of the 6 batters she has faced since entering this game to start the 5th inning. Just a masterclass of pitching for the Bandits tonight, from Sarah Willis to Taylor McQuillan. Two strikeouts in the first 19 batters she faced this season. 4 of the last 6.
That she was just such a big pickup in the draft because she's left-handed. She has the veteran experience and international experience as she gets another strikeout of Mackenzie Clark, who is known for the long ball so far in this season, but goes to her screwball, a pitch that is going to move away from a right-handed hitter. And it has a little bit of upspin to it as well. Screwball was called, but moves away from Clark and up into zone 2.
Two outs away from a Bandit sweep.
But I just think she's looked so good checking in. And just to go off of the Bandits getting her in the draft, I felt like she was one of the biggest pickups because she is left-handed, has the experience, and has swing and miss stuff.
She was taken high, taken in the 2nd round. Last pick of the 2nd round, though, 8th overall. And I think going in, I mean, from my perspective, I would have thought maybe a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
The Bandits have to be loving that value. When you look at her last 2 summers as a pro, they've been her best. A 16-5 record, a sub-3 ERA, and over 100 innings pitched. And she's right back to work on that this season.
All of her pitches just have such good spin. She can work both sides of the plate. She can go up, down, and she has the ability to change speeds. And really went to work a couple of summers ago of just putting in knowledge into effective velocity and how to be deceptive with different pitches and pitch locations against both right and left-handed hitters. And you could tell that that really changed her game and leveled her up to be able to go multiple times against the same hitters.
3-1 to Romero. Into foul territory. Nets almost pulled it in. She made a great over-the-shoulder catch in the Tucson Regional for Arizona at first base. Wow.
That's why they loved her in the draft, too. Just her versatility, ability to play first base, hit with some pop, and then also pitch.
Only team with 6 arms because of Nets being a two-way player.
And 2 lefties, too, that they have on their staff with Taylor McQuillan and Emily Kennedy.
Kennedy maybe an X factor for them, for you?
Could be. Both of the lefties, I think, are X factors. How well McQuillan throws, and Kennedy, how she gives a different look from the left-hand side.
3-2 to Romero. Change up into center, Zerkle over, 2 outs.
I mean, this series is going to give the Bandits a ton of confidence going into the rest of the season, knowing that this is how they're capable of playing, and likely that they're not going to be able to maintain this high of level of play. Maybe they will. Maybe they'll surprise us and keep this through the rest of the 18 games left or whatever it is that they have left. But even if they struggle one game or for a couple of games, they'll always be able to go back to this series and think about, we are capable of playing like this on all facets of the ball. Pitching, defense, hitting, everything going for them in this series.
Last chance is Rachel Garcia. Garcia 1 for 2, singled in the second inning. Off speed from McQuillan for strike one.
Shutouts are so tough in this league too. You don't see it very often. Bandits going for a shutout here if they get this final out against Rachel Garcia.
They had the lone shutout in an opening weekend of the Talons, 8-0 in 5 innings. This will be the first 7-inning shutout in the AUSL.
And think about how important that game one win was in extras. They had left 11 on base and had opportunities.
McQuillan, exceptional out of the bullpen. 6 strikeouts. She saw 9 batters, sat all of them down. Incredible from Taylor McQuillan.
And everybody in the Bandits organization and team just has to feel like they are on cloud 9. They had 32 hits in 3 games, scored 18 runs, like no errors on the board tonight, made several double plays, just doing everything right this weekend against the Volts, who will need to regroup and maybe have a turning point in Wichita.
A sweep for the Bandits. The offense was there. The defense was unbelievable. They've had 7 double plays. 5 of them came in this 3-game series. What more can you say about Taylor McQuillan?
Just came in and slammed the door. She was ready to pitch after not pitching in game 1 and game 2, and just had different strikeout pitches. A couple with the rise, curve, screw, and then back to the rise ball. I mean, Taylor McQuillan was money. 2 strikeouts in each inning that she pitched. 3 up, 3 down. Nobody got a hit off of her. I mean, unbelievable performance by Taylor McQuillan to slam the door.
Savannah has Taylor McQuillan on the field.
Taylor, to hear that the Bandits had the first ever sweep in AUSL history. How exciting is that for this team?
Yeah, I'm so excited. I mean, we've worked really hard, and our buy-in with this team has been so great, and our team chemistry is really great on and off the field. And so just being able to come out here and knowing that people have my back and I have theirs, it's just kind of like a carousel moment. So it's really exciting for us to be able to be a lot of firsts coming through.
A shutout, dominant performance by you and by Willis. You had 2 different catchers back there calling this game too, to be able to make that 1-2 punch with in the circle and behind the plate. How impactful is that?
I think it's been great, just having versatility on our team. We pride ourselves on being versatile and having a lot of options defensively and offensively. So Joe does a great job back there. I think Delaney's done a great job. I know that I wasn't my best last time I was with Dee, so I really wanted to make sure that I knew that she knew that I had her back and that I'm going to mesh with her and I'm going to get with her. And so I feel like today that was something that was really big for me, is going out there and saying, Dee, I got you, I'm with you. So it's been amazing. I think our team's great. I can't complain.
Well, you sure look your best tonight. Thanks, Tay. Congrats.
Thank you.
Taylor McQuillan and the Bandits, the sweep of the Volts. More softball tomorrow on MLB.com. The Blaze and the Talons at 7 Eastern. For Amanda Scarborough, Savannah Collins, I'm Chucky Kemp. So long from Sulphur.